Welcome to Bishop's Online Tutoring. This is sheet number 2 covering ordering numbers. Okay, write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So nice and simple, we can see that 9 is our smallest number, then 37, then 56, then 59, and then 75. This one's quite simple, so I didn't really bother, but generally what you want to do is as you have used each number in a position as like the first smallest, second smallest, third smallest, and so on, try crossing them off. It'll make it a lot simpler and a lot easier to not get confused. Okay, this next one looks quite a lot more confusing because we've got a bunch of decimals. So let's just write out all these numbers on the side and then we will work from there. So 0.56, 0.067, 0.6, 0.65, and 0.605. Now, can you see I've written everything in order, like everything is in the same column? Now, go ahead and add a bunch of zeros everywhere just to make this look a lot cleaner and avoid any sort of confusion. Now, as you can see, the zeros are still in the first column. The decimal points are all in the same column. The rest of the numbers are all still within the same column. If it's the first digit, the second digit, third digit, it will always be in line with the first, second, and third digit with the number below it. So let's just label this as column number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in order to solve this, let's look at the first column and then work our way down. So in column number 1, we can see that every single number starts with a 0. So let's move on to column number 2. In column number 2, we can see that we've got a 5, a 0, and then 3 sixes. So then clearly 0.067 is our smallest number. So let's just go ahead and write that down, 0.067. Now, same exact thing. We've already looked into column number 1, so let's not waste our time with that. Let's just carry on from column number 2. In column number 2, we can see that we've got a 5 and 3 sixes left. So then clearly 0.56 will be our next smallest number, 0.56. Carrying on from column number 2, we can see that the remaining 3 numbers all start with a 6. So let's look at column number 3. We've got a 0, 5, and then a 0. So now let's look at column number 4 just for 0.6 and 0.605. 0.6 ends with a 0 and 0.605 ends with a 5. So let's go with 0.6 as our next smallest number. Now that leaves 2. Now, if we go back to looking at the third column, we can see that we've got a number that has a 5 and a number that has a 0 in its third column. Everything else before it is exactly the same. This one has a 0.6 to begin with. This one has a 0.6 to begin with. So which one's going to be the smaller number? Well, clearly it will be 0.605. And then by rule of elimination, we've only got one number left, and that is 0.65, and that will be our largest number. Okay, with this next one, if you get stuck with negative numbers, the easiest thing you can do for yourself is draw the numbers out in a number line. It seems quite elementary, however, it works. And I'm not really one to knock a method that works. As long as it works and gets you the right answer, what's the problem? So our smallest number in this case is going to be minus 10. Let's cross that off. Then we have minus 6. Then we've got minus 4. Then we've got 2, and then 5. Now the thing I was saying about the number line is this. Draw this out. Start with your absolute smallest number, which we know is minus 10 when we look at the numbers. We've got minus 10, minus 9, minus 8, minus 7, minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, right? We can see now clearly that out of the range of numbers that we were given, clearly minus 10 is over here, so let's just put number 1 on that. Minus 6 is over here, so let's put a number 2 on that. Minus 4 is over here, so let's put number 3 on that. 2 is over here, so that's number 4, and 5 is over here, so let's put a number 5 next to that. And then we can literally just write number 1 in the first place, number 2 in the second place, and so on and so forth. Okay, let's write these numbers in order of size, starting with the smallest. Our smallest number here is 13, our next smallest number is 67, our next smallest number is 76, next one is 103, and then 130. Over here, our smallest number is minus 7, then minus 3, then minus 1, then 0, and then 5. Another benefit of crossing off these numbers as you write those down is sometimes if you're given a lot of numbers, people can forget to put all the numbers on the answer line, and just that alone can lose you the mark. So just play it safe, cross the numbers off. Okay, let's do the exact same thing as we did earlier with these decimals. So 0.72, 0.7, 0.072, 0.07, and 0.702. Now let's fill in all the gaps with a bunch of zeros. And now let's start looking at column 1, 2, 3, and 4 and find us the absolute smallest number and the largest number. So in column 1, we can see they all start with a 0, so let's move on to column number 2. Now, in column number 2, we've got a 7, 7, 0, 0, and 7. So let's look at the two numbers which have a 0 in column number 2. The next number for each of them in column number 3 is a 7, and in column number 2, this one is a 2, and this one is a 0. So clearly, this is going to be our smallest number, 0.07. Now, let's cross this off. Our next smallest number is clearly also going to be 0.072, because that's what the first number was competing with, 0.072. Cross that off as well. With the rest of the numbers that we have left, right? In column number 1, they are all zeros. In column number 2, they are all sevens. However, in column number 3, we've got a 2, a 0, and a 0. So let's pursue this one and this one, because these are the ones that have a 0 in column number 3. So in column number 4, this one is a 0 and this one is a 2. So that would make this one, 0.7, our next smallest number. And that would make 0.702 our next smallest number. And we only have one number left, and that's 0.72, so that has to be our biggest number. Write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest first. Well, 6 is the smallest, 17 is the next smallest, 24 is the next smallest, and then 168 is the biggest. Write these numbers in order of size, start with the smallest. So we can do the exact same thing as what we did with the decimals that started with 0. So just make sure you keep the decimal point in the same spot, and then you can't get confused. So 1.8, 3.71, 0.5, and 12.4. Now let's go ahead and add a bunch of zeros everywhere. So 0, 0, 0, 0. Now let's go with column number 1, 2, 3, and 4 and look at what the smallest number is. The first column has 3 zeros and a 1, so let's just pursue the 3 zeros first. Column 2, if we're only looking at the top 3 numbers, is a 1, 3, and a 0. So clearly 0.50 is our smallest number. Let's carry on looking at column number 2, but for the top 2 numbers. We've got a 1 and a 3. So that would clearly mean that 1.8 is our next smallest number. And that would therefore make 3.71 our next smallest number, and 12.4 our biggest number by elimination. Write these numbers in order of size, start with the smallest. So 7's the smallest, we've got 23, 39, 49, and 78. Okay, same concept over here, 0.51, 0.017, 0.5, 0.15, and 0.405. Go ahead and fill the spaces with a bunch of zeros. Now that's column number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now column number 1 is all zeros, so let's look at column number 2. We've got a 5, a 0, a 5, a 1, and a 4. So clearly 0.017 is going to be our smallest number. The next smallest number, if we carry on looking from column number 2, we've got a 5, a 1, and a 4, so the next smallest has to be 0.15. The next smallest, if we carry on looking from column number 2, we've got a 5, and a 4. So the 4 is the smaller number, so 0.405 is our next smallest number. Now with the two remaining numbers, in column number 2, they both have a 5, and we're looking for the smallest number possible. So let's move on to column number 3. In column number 3, this one is 0.51, so column number 3 has a 1, and column number 3 for this one has a 0. So this has to be our smallest number. So that would be 0.5. And then since it's the only one left, 0.51 is our largest number. Okay, we can see that minus 15 is our smallest number because it will be the furthest to the left if we were to write these numbers out on a number line. The next smallest will be minus 6, then minus 4, then 4, and then 5. Same story over here, we're writing these numbers in order of smallest to largest. So we can see that 16 is our smallest number, then 73, then 77, then 123, and then 140. Our smallest number over here is going to be minus 5, then minus 4, then minus 2, then 3, and then 5. Okay, let's write these numbers out in that column method. So 0.62, 0.5, 0.062, 0.06, and 0.502. Fill out all the empty spaces with zeros. Now that's column number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Now let's look at column number 1. They all start with a 0, so move on to column number 2. In column number 2, we can see that we've got two numbers that have a 0, the others are a 6 and two 5s. So let's just pursue these ones. If we look at column number 3 for both of them, they both have a 6, and in column number 4, one has a 2, the other has a 0. So clearly 0.06 will be our smallest number, and 0.062 will be the next smallest. Now go back to column number 2. we have a number with a 6, a number with a 5, a number with another 5. So let's now focus on the two numbers that have a 5 for column number 2. If we look at column number 3, they both have a 0, and column number 4, one has a 0, the other has a 2. So 0.5 will be the next smallest number. And then 0.502 will be the next smallest number after that. And then we are only left with one number, and that's 0.62, and that finishes that. Okay, over here we can see that 9 is the smallest number, then 37, then 44, and then 128. Okay, let's do the same thing over here. So let's write 1.5, 3.81, 0.4, and 17.4. Now add a bunch of zeros to complete the grid. Now that's column number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Just do a line underneath. Now if we look at column number 1, we can see that we've got 3 numbers starting with a 0. So let's focus on them. In column number 2, we've got a 1, a 3, and a 0. So let's put the 0.4 as our smallest number. Now carrying on with the top two numbers, we have in column number 2 a 1 and a 3. So the one that is a 1, that's going to be the smaller number, so 1.5. And that would obviously make 3.81 the next smallest number, and then because there's only one left, that has to be the biggest number, and that's 17.4. Thank you for watching that video. Hopefully you got something valuable out of that. Make sure you check out some of the other videos on the channel. This is a series where we're going through the entire GCSE math syllabus with our own in-house sheets and questions.